I don't need thumbs up. I can see that it's recorded.
Well, the last time we tried this, you messed up.
You froze.
I'm back.
You froze. Oh, you're back. There we go.
In our low-budget production.
Hello.
Sessions.
Oh my god. You gonna let me do it now?
Feel free.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to what is a low-budget production of Simbin Sessions this week. I'm Megan Wellens.
I'm not sure.
Why was that the most delayed response in the entire world?
Hey, listen, this is low budget. I said
Right.
this was a terrible idea, but you insisted.
Well, no, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I am a believer that it's better to do a podcast than not do a podcast at all. We had logistical challenges this week with work and everything else. So we are doing it via laptop. But yeah, we won't make a habit of this, but we're in a situation of needs must, so needs must.
Yeah. It's not really worked out for us the last couple of days, has it? Because we were going to record at Wembley. We were going to record a snap at Wembley.
A show.
A snap. And we got kicked out as we were about to record it. And then we tried to figure out a time and a place to get all three of us, three being me, you, and producer Owen together, and we couldn't do that. So here we are.
Here we are. But like we say, we won't be making a habit of this. But in the week we've had, I believe it's better to be doing this than not doing one at all, as I said. So I guess first off, Clubhouse Whispers, what's been going on in your life, Matt?
Well, I had a busy. We were both in London. We were both in London. Meg did a tremendous job of avoiding me at all costs. So, we had a few pints on Tuesday, didn't we?
Yeah, we went to the Media Day on Tuesday, which we said on our previous show it was very well run Media Day. And then after that, we went for a few pints. And
we
then
didn't just locate a pub. It was the strangest place to find. Yeah,
we couldn't find it at all, but then we eventually did find it. And then I was in the office in my job, so I was there all week, and then it was the game with a very civilized kickoff time of 2:30, which was very nice. I really did. I think it was clever in the sense of they knew a lot of people would be traveling from the north, right? And I got the train home at 7:30 with a couple other journos in, Josh and Ben, but it was just quite nice to have other people to travel with and know you can travel the same day, if you know what I mean. Because especially if you're working, if a game finishes at 8 and then you're having to do reaction till 10, you're running for trains. It's just not very. No, I enjoyed the timing of it very, very much. But yeah, anything else been going on in your life?
What went on in my life? I went to Downing Street.
You did?
Got a picture. I can't believe you didn't turn up for that.
I was working.
That's a shame. That's just. But you are very politically attuned. I thought that would have been an opportunity far too.
No, I was genuinely gutted, but it was just I couldn't get out of work to go from a pitch taken, unlike some people where their job is getting their pitch taken. But anyway, yeah. So, I had big things in my life.
Go on, hit me. What happened in your life this week? Oh, sorry. I apologise profusely. It was Meg's birthday.
It was my birthday.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I turned the lovely young age of 29.
You are actually old. I mean, I'm 32, but I always think of you as the baby of the media pack, but actually you're not. There are younger people than you.
There are younger people. Yeah, it's not a very fun age to turn. There's not I don't know. You're not woo, I'm 29. You feel like you're just waiting to now turn 30. So that's sad, and I don't like that.
You've basically got an irrelevant year ahead of you.
Well, technically it's actually your 30th year, right? Because I'm in my 30th year of life now, so it's about living my 30th year.
And what
So,
did you do? What did you do for your birthday?
well, because I knew I was working at Wembley this weekend, the weekend before, I went away with my group of friends to Wales, where we always go every year for a long weekend. So we did that then, and then on my actual birthday, I just saw my family. Yeah, very, very calm and civilized birthday for me. I'm not really a big birthday person though.
Went out in Elpool yesterday.
I went out with my mum in Liverpool, yeah, to buy my birthday present from her.
What did she get
And
you? What did Julie get you? Julie's got another shout out. I'm really pleased about
she has,
that.
she got me a watch. So yeah. Yeah, I went out with her and then met one of my best friends, Meg. She joined us for a drink, and then I went the quiz, and we won at the
You won the
quiz.
quiz.
We won the quiz.
The
So the W's.
The W. Sorry, incredibly uninspiring name. Not very.
So yeah. Well, we won. So yeah, that was my 29th birthday.
You actually had a class. You think about it because you got that weekend, and then you got because you had something Friday, right? Didn't you have a dinner party or something?
Yes, I saw some of my friends who live in London, and we went round for dinner and we played Traitors, which was incredibly fun.
So you've essentially had two kind of sort of weekends of celebrating your birthday, and got to work at Wembley for an Ashes test.
Yeah. Well, because I realised that I'm not a person who can, like, I organised my 25th birthday. I remember when I was living in London and tried to do a big party, and I just got really stressed and hated it and cried a lot. So I will never ever organise anything big for my birthday for myself ever again. So I enjoyed
now,
it.
if any of Meg's friends or family are listening, there was two big words in there for myself. Meg wants a 30th.
I don't know.
That's so obvious. The two words there
It's
said
not.
everything. So someone organised Meg a 30th bash. Please,
Well,
thank you.
they've got no, we've got a whole year of life till then anyway. But anyway, yeah, so a big week, Scorpio season, my season. And then I guess we can move into.
Hang on. No, let's soothe Meg's ever-growing ego. You got spotted a few times. Someone asked you for a selfie.
They did, and they said you're the funny one on the podcast, and I said thank you so much. A couple of other people said the same on the train. It was just a running trend that basically
See, this is the thing with Meg, right? She lies because I have had reports from said train journey that everyone was asking where I was and saying how good I was. Meg never mentions this ever. But every time Meg gets mentioned to me, which happened several times this weekend, and I told you about it, always tell her Meg doesn't like to give.
I don't have an ego.
Oh,
you do.
This was supposed to be Captain's Challenge this week, wasn't it? But we decided against it.
So I don't tell you because you already believe your own hype. So you've already got Josh and Ben telling you.
Now that you've been called out, because you never told me, what were people saying about me?
Who does he think he is? And I said, great question. It's a great question. And then I put my headphones in, so I don't know what he said to Josh.
There we go. 6 on lies. So Meg got mentioned a few times to me. I was out in the box park on Friday with Josh and Ben. Meg, it's becoming a running theme. You'll find that Meg likes to fall out with me. Meg fell out with me and said it was very rude of you and very unfair of you not to invite me out on Friday night, even though earlier in the week she had specifically told me she wasn't free Friday night, hence why I didn't ask, because why would you ask if you weren't free?
Isn't
but you weren't free, so it didn't matter.
Things might have changed.
And then someone said, "Where's Meg?" Started speaking about where's Meg, and I went, "I've no idea, to be honest." And then on Saturday, listeners of the show, well, I'm assuming they were because they asked where you were. And then on Saturday, people were very complimentary who I was with, and but about you as well. saying that you're hilarious. They love the sunglasses and your put down of said sunglasses. So we are building a fan base, it would appear, if we can call them that.
We have a core group of listeners, I would say. Disciples, that's a bit religious. But anyway, that's a big long intro, but we'll allow it while it's my birthday week. And we'll move into try or no try. And obviously there's only one topic to start with this week, and that is England. Matt, opening thoughts.
Okay, this is an unpopular opinion, maybe because I'm not a negative Nancy like others. I didn't think it was as bad as people are making out. Hear me out, right? And maybe this is me. I always say I have no invested interest in the outcome of results ever, unless it involves Halifax. But I do with England. I just watched that first half, and they were 8-0 down, right? And I'm not, look, Australia looked slicker and cleaner and sharper and all that. I get it, they did. But the first try should never have counted because the pass was a million miles forward. It was in a different postcode by the time that it was picked up. And England had two massive chances that they missed. The Reece Walsh pat down of Wardle's pass and then Johnston kicking in field. If he takes a bit off that, it's fine, right? That could have very easily been 12-0 England at halftime. It could have been. It could have been because you can't.
It also could have been 12-0 to Wigan in the grand final, but they also got tonked by Hull KR in the end.
Fine, no issue with that. No issue with that. However, we know, and we've said this all along, if England are going to win, they need to take their chances and they need a little bit of luck to go their way. I wouldn't even say it was luck, the try. It was just a bad call. It should have been pulled back. They didn't take the chances and the decisions didn't go the way. Because there was the other one where Reece Walsh just yanks Herbie Farnworth down, which the penalty 10 metres out. That could have been a very different first half. Would it have changed the outcome by the end? I don't know, because England were flagging by the end. But if they were leading, who knows? So listen, I think what we saw was if you don't take your chances against the Aussies, that's going to happen. However, it could, if everything had gone right, which it needs to do for England, I'm not denying that, it could have ended up differently.
How many minutes of that amazing first half where they were in the battle did you think it took till they kicked in Australia's half?
And that was the problem, right? Because they were in Australia's half.
No.
Listen. They were in Australia's half, I think, 4 times in that first half. And Morgan Knowles with the pass to Matty Lees went down. Jack Wellesby over the top went down. Someone else dropped the ball. They didn't get to the end of the sets. That's the criticism of England, where you would expect them to be far better. Far better.
That's not my point.
It is your point is that territorially never got close to the line. Yes, they did. The kicks.
No.
Never came.
No, I'm saying it took 24 minutes for them to have a single kick inside Australia's half.
Yeah, but my point to you is it wasn't that they didn't get into Australia's half. They were in Australia's half heaps, but they kept dropping the ball when they were in good ball. That was the problem. That was the entire problem. That statistic is flawed and absolutely.
But your point of view is flawed as well, because you're going, look, they had all this great ball, but also they were defended against so well, and they were so nervous that they just kept dropping it. So what's the point?
They weren't defended against well. That's my point. The Matty Lees knock on is just poor play. The Jack Wellesby pass over the top is just poor play. That's not good defense. It's just poor attack. They attacked poor when they were in good positions.
Well, I thought their attack was poor throughout the entire match, and
I'm not disputing that.
So I don't get how you can't say it wasn't a horrendously bad result.
The scoreline shocking. 26-6 is shocking. I'm not, but my point is I don't think the performance was as bad, because there were certain aspects of it where they did well. That first 20 minutes through the middle, they did superbly well. They did.
For 20 minutes? Of an
Meg,
80-minute match.
Meg, they had more good ball in the first half than Australia did. So they did something right for that to happen. They did. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Okay, so you're saying that we should all go, God, that Hull KL grand final, great for them, but God, Wigan in that first 20 minutes. Doesn't matter if you don't do it for the other 60.
Did I not say after the grand final that yes, okay, I ran out deserved winners in the end. However, Wigan will feel they should have the game won in 15 minutes because they should.
But the point is, Matt, is that they didn't pull off those moments.
And my point exactly is that if England are to win any games in this series, they have to ice those moments, and they didn't. My point is,
To be honest, I didn't think they looked like scoring once. Like Darryl Clark did that one try, and I didn't think they looked like scoring at any other point. The passes went to ground. The passes went to ground.
So when the 2-on-1 and there's Jake Ward up,
Jake Ward pooed his pants.
You don't think they look like scoring in that moment?
No.
Nonsense, Meg. It's a 2-on-1. It's a gilt-edged chance.
But score.
No, but that's my point. You've got to take.
Did they score?
Did they score? That's my exact point. That is my exact point. And then if Tom Johnston takes a bit of weight off that kick, they score because the two chasers were two England players.
But he didn't take weight off it.
No, and you're not taking my point. I know he didn't, but my point is they created.
But your point is you're putting all these. No, but you're putting all these caveats in of like there was this chance. No, there was a horrifically poorly executed chance.
Right, and as I keep saying, they didn't take the chances. That's my point. They have to take those chances. And if they do take the chances, which you would expect a team of England's quality to do, they are. I think they're 12-0 up at that point. If that forward pass is given, which it was a forward pass, can we all agree it was a forward pass?
Yeah, I don't care about that. My point is that you're genuinely saying you thought England looked like an attacking threat in that game.
They had moments in that first half where they broke them down. They did. They made 3 line breaks.
Attacking threat.
You
thought they worked as a team. You thought they worked as a team and together looks like a conducive attacking threat.
They made 3 breaks. I'm not saying that
that's not a conducive attacking threat. That's one person breaking.
I would argue in a big game like that, if you have 3 chances and you score 3 tries, normally in a big game like that, as is normally proven in the grand final, that would win you a grand final.
Okay. Question for you then. If it wasn't as calamitous as you're making out and all the Aussie commentators are wrong and everyone else is wrong, why is he making 4 changes probably?
Because there were some players that badly underperformed.
But it wasn't calamitous.
No,
you can make 4 changes. 4.
It was overall. We're on about the first half right now. The second half.
I wasn't on about the first half. You said that England were not as bad as everyone made out. I am saying yes.
I don't think they were, because everyone made out they were rubbish in the first half, and I didn't think they were. They were poor in the second half. There's no getting away from that. There's no getting away with the second half.
They went in 8-0 down at half time, Matt.
But my argument is, if that had gone the other way and they take those 2 chances and their pass and their try gets disallowed rightly and it's 12-0, that second half and the context of it looks different.
I'd take the point if he was saying it was 0-0, but this argument that if you're taking away their forward pass, you can't give England's 2 tries. You can't take away their mistake and give England's tries.
I can, because my argument is everything has to go England's way, as I've said multiple times.
No, actually, they'd have had 2 points because it was a penalty on Reece Walsh.
Yeah, do you go for 2 points, 12-0 down? I don't know. Maybe at that time, yeah, with a minute to go, yeah, probably. So 12.
I just don't see how you can any Super League game. If you'd have watched, bear with me, Huddersfield Giants come out against Wigan Warriors, and for the first 20 minutes, throw what they could at them, drop a couple of chances near the line, and then lose 26-6, there would be no part of you that would be walking away saying, Huddersfield Giants could have been 12-0 up at half-time and Huddersfield Giants could have got the victory in the end. Huddersfield Giants aren't as bad as everyone's saying.
Hang on. Counter-argument to that, Megan. I think you'll find that about 7 rounds into the season, the big narrative, quite specifically around Huddersfield Giants, was that if matches finished at half time, they'd be top of the league. That was a very long-standing narrative around the Giants.
Which is a stupid argument.
But you're saying that we wouldn't be saying it. We were saying it.
You were saying if matches finished at half time.
But still, your point is that we won't be talking about it. We weren't talking about it.
Please admit you get my point.
I get your point, but this is like everything you aren't seeing my point of view at all.
No, I think the thing is you're going because the first half there was chances and there's that. I feel like 2 chances where there was drop balls and a horrendous pass, and rendered redundant by the other 60 minutes.
Yeah, look, I get what you said. Well, you say over 60. I didn't think they were bad at all in the first. I thought they were fine in the 30 to 40. They were. I did.
So if them being fine is 8-0 down, that's an issue.
Well, I agree because they're a better team. I'm not disputing that. But my argument is that, as I keep saying,
Matt, let's be real. You said England were going to win.
I did,
and I laughed at it.
Look, there is clearly cause for concern off the second half. The second half was poor, but I think if all those moments go their way in the first half, that can be a different second half. The problem is, I'm not sure. On the bigger point, I'm not sure that they will play Australia playing as poor as that again, and I cop that.
So, this was the other point I was going to get onto is everyone's making out they were playing like 10 out of 10 Kangaroos. They were playing probably 7 out of 10 Kangaroos.
Not even 7 out of 10 not even 7 out of 10 in that first half.
Exactly. They dropped the ball so many times. Like, you're not saying they're going to get better next match. Do you know what I mean?
They will get better next match.
That's my point.
I'm not disputing that, Meg. I'm just saying
But you are, because you're saying that the performance that England put in that is meant to be. So, what would you say England's performance for England in the first half was out of 10?
I would say. Oh, good question. Because there were aspects of it I thought they were great, but execution no. So I'd probably go 7.
So England 7 against Australia 6, and Australia came out
Australia's 5.
Okay, Australia's 5, and they came out 8-0 on top. So can you not see how what I'm saying is that if you're saying that's a 7, to me it wasn't a 7, which actually means I think they're maybe better than I think they just played poorly. But my point is that if that's what we're dishing up, they've got no chance.
No, I am concerned for the future games, which we're going on to a different argument here, because I think England will get better. However, I think Australia will get significantly better. So I think the level Australia played at in the second half next week, but I think Australia will go up again. That's my worry.
I'm worried by the aspects of the talk around nerves. I find it really, I don't know what the word is, but that senior players in that squad had nerves. I think it's strange that they didn't come to it's not a captain's run, but I don't know what the word for it is, but their day before to walk around Wembley. Has played at Wembley or been at Wembley. I've seen Hull KR cancel a captain's run at the grand final last year, and they admitted that was the wrong thing to do because players turned up on the game day and were like overawed by what it was. I just think do it. Just like let people have a look around. You know which changing room you're going into. You know where the bus is going to pull up. You know all those things. I just think little things like that matter. Yeah, I don't know. I think if we're ringing in the changes, but then we're sticking by some people because they just had a poor performance on that day, but we're changing other people, and then there's probably people who are getting dropped who probably were nowhere near the worst players, but there are people who aren't getting dropped who are near. That worries me for what is going to come.
How many changes do you think they'll make?
Pardon?
How many changes do you think they will make?
4.
Who?
I think Brimson will come in some capacity. I just don't know what capacity. I think Harry Smith will come in. I think Morgan Smithies will come in. And I think someone will come in for Owen Trout potentially on the bench.
I agree that Brimson will play. I agree Smith will play. I think Nikolai Oledzki will play.
Maybe even Callum Watkins has more of an opportunity, maybe. I don't know.
Possibly, but I don't think he'll play. I think.
But on the bench, or
I think Brimson will be at fullback. Smith will be at 7, 6, whatever. Oledzki will come in. I think the interesting bit for me is around Darryl Clark, Jez Litton, Mikey Lewis. Does he run with all three, with one of the hookers starting and two of them on the bench? Or does he go with one hooker and have, I think he'll play Oledzki and Walmsley again. He'll bring Oledzki. I think he'll play Walmsley again. Does he run with one of Lewis, Litton, Clark, and another middle, maybe a Morgan Smithers? I don't know.
do you think he sticks with Wellesby?
No. I don't. I just look. I'm a Jack Wellesby fan. He's had a tough year. He started the season very well. He got the injury. He's not played well since he's come back.
This is where I think the argument's silly. That not silly, but this thing of like he's had to play all these positions for club. As I said to you after the match, he played fullback for a full year at Saints and then went in at 6 for England and was great at 6. I think it's more to do with him coming back being fully fit than it is to do with him not playing fullback.
Don't disagree. I do not disagree. Because if you remember, it was supposed to be, a 12, 16-week injury, and it was like an 8. So, I don't know. I just think the lad probably needs a bit of time out, get away from rugby for a bit.
I tweeted this during the game, but I said, I feel like the players who were having a bad game were the players who'd underperformed for the club.
Who do you think had a bad game? We all think Wellesby had a bad game.
Wellesby. I think one second half when he came on. I mean, he was at fault for one of the tries, so yeah. I think Dom Young was great in attack and his yardage was amazing, but his big issue in the NRL this year has been defensively, and I think he got targeted defensively. But that's
off him, though.
Huh?
They didn't score off him, though.
No, but I just think they targeted Tom Johnston with a high ball, which I thought he did very well under, given how much they peppered him with it.
I thought Dom Young had a good game, by the way. I thought Dom Young was fine.
I think so did I, but I think like if there's one area that's going to win you a game like that, it's defence, right?
And even the other big talking point one was John Bateman. Now, look, we know that John Bateman, again, is defence oriented, and I thought he did a good defensive job. The problem I have with the England team as a forward unit, it's much of a muchness with what they had out. Matty Lees is great. Ethan Havard is great. Morgan Knowles is tremendous. The problem is they're all defensive oriented players. There's no carry in that. There's no carry there. Kai Pearce-Paul had a quiet game. I was a little bit disappointed with Kai Pearce-Paul. Bateman, defensive minded, did his job, but you don't have him in to attack and score tries. And then you looked at the bench, McMeekan again. I didn't think McMeekan had the best games, if I'm honest.
Do you know what type of player I think they're missing in the forward pack?
They miss a Luke Thompson.
A Junior Nasemba.
The problem with him, this is your balance, right? He's going for an attacking-minded back rower and a defensive-minded in Pearce-Paul Bateman, which I get. I'm okay with that. And Semba has to be your attacking-minded one, but we have to accept that his defence has been pretty poor at times this year. I think Pearce-Paul in that role is a better balanced player.
I think the issue for me is, we said before, when you looked at that forward pack, there wasn't a name where you went, they're going to rip them up. Do you know what I mean? There was no one that you were like, they're going to tear through them. Like, you're looking back in the day and it was like your Jammer, your Burgess, even further back, your Jamie Peacock. Do you know what I mean? There was always that one player where you were like, they're going to absolutely run it in and tear through them and create something from it. Whereas in that forward pack on Saturday, there was not one of them where I was like, God, when they get the ball and run it in, they're going to go down like bowling pins. Do you know what I mean?
The grafters, aren't they? They're all grafted who were very good defensively and contained Australia's middle unit. We have to say they did a good job. They were making loads of headway upfield all game, the middle, you know. But yeah, and the other concern I've got, Meg, is, and this isn't a criticism of Morgan Knowles at all, and I want to make that clear. I thought Morgan Knowles was tremendous defensively. However, in that first half in particular, so much ball went through him, and he's not a natural ball playing 13.
Well, he plays that role at Saints.
Yeah, but it's not his strength, is it? He's not an Asiata or there's many you could mention. He's not that. That's not his game. And I just felt it didn't. I think everything looked clunky, and that's not a criticism of him. I think England looked like a team that were trying to play like they had Victor Radley at 13.
But question for you then: what forward would you put the ball through?
None. I just won't be playing through the middle. You got to get it to your arms. Got to get it to your arms.
Yeah. I think against Australia, yeah, I don't know. Because it is a role he does genuinely do at Saints. He's played a lot of first receiver at 13. And obviously that's something that Lee Briers has coached.
But with the greatest of respect, Meg, you're right, he did. We all know how much Saints have struggled in attack this year. And again, I'm not putting that on Morgan Knowles. I'm just saying, you know.
But this was the whole point of what I was saying, is that, like, obviously John Bateman stood up more than I thought he would defensively, but I think he got stepped by Reece Walsh for one of the tries, I think. But like one of them. I think. Whoa. There is no coincidence that a side who all year people were shouting about how they can't attack, that 5 of those players were involved in the game and the attack looked clunky.
Kind of get your point. Clark scored.
He barreled over.
He scored. Leeds isn't in the team for attack. I would argue that Morgan Knowles isn't in the team for attack.
But he is. He plays an attacking role in that team.
Yeah, I know, but it don't work. It just doesn't work for me. But you'd have him in the team because of how good he is defensively. You just would. There's no way I wouldn't pick Morgan Knowles. Absolutely no way.
Would you bench him and start Smithies?
No, because Morgan Smithies isn't a ball playing 13. This is the problem. They haven't got Radley. And the player who, and you mentioned him earlier, it's a risk. Because again, it's not his natural role. Do you play Callum Watkins there?
At least he can do it.
Yeah, use Knowles as a prop, which he's done in the past.
Yeah. Well, he had to use him as that when they had Victor, didn't they? That was kind of, yeah. Look, I think that it was more for me when they were on Australia's line in those chances in the first and bits of the second half. When they were throwing the ball around, there was no part of me that was like, just going to score here. Their attack was just, when doing set play attack, it felt disjointed.
And I agree, and it came back to starting in the middle. This is my point.
If he does, I guess this is final points on it. If he does, Mikey.
Yeah, it's tough on this. I didn't think Mikey had a bad game, but he didn't have a good game.
But if you watch any of the documentary, Sean Wayne constantly says to him throughout that, I want to see you running the ball. I want to see you running the ball. He didn't seem to have him in for like a kicking necessarily like more about his kicking game. All they were saying on that was, we want you running the ball, we want you get them thinking. But that's the role for me that George Williams also plays. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just, he mentioned the kicking game, and Mike did a lot of the long kicking. George is more of a short kicker, isn't he? Which works well because Mike's strength is his long kicking and George's strength is short. I just didn't think that Mikey kicked that well, and I would say that Sean Wayne agreed, because on Saturday after the game he said the end of sets weren't good enough, and then today again he said it screams to me that Harry Smith plays.
Yeah.
Just as we've discussed, whether you'd find a place for Mike in the team or not, I don't know.
Well, I guess final point on England is, how do you see test numero dos going?
22-10 to Australia, an improvement but the same outcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 24-12.
I think you're being generous there. I don't think you actually believe that. I think I was expecting you to go like 34-6 or something, and your smile tells me everything that I need to know. You fibber.
I'm trying to be nice.
You fibber.
Okay, what I actually believe is probably 36-8. Yeah.
30, and then added another 6 on just later. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, when I'm like looking and I'm like, okay, they're making these changes. Like maybe Brimson might bring something different. I don't know. But knowing, like, literally interviewing Nathan Cleary and him being like, we've got so much improvement.
Name drop.
And him just being like, no, we need to get better. We need to get better. That wasn't good enough. I'm like, if they get 5% better, I don't know where in England's side. Well, Herbie Farnworth, I felt sorry for as well. Sorry, last point, because they just kept throwing the ball to Herbie Farnworth, but there was just Herbie Farnworth. So it was just like
that was another part I was disappointed with Jack Welby. At times it just felt, take it to line, give him a bit more space. It was just boom, boom, straight onto him.
It was just like, obviously Herbie Farnworth's probably the best centre in the world. So England were just like, get the ball to Herbie, but it's like, but you have to, and like he'd make bits and moments of it, but it was like, maybe help him out slightly more to have his moment.
I agree.
But I assume they'll be doing a lot of work on the attack in training this week. And Sam Tompkins said as well, it simply wasn't anything like we'd like trained like, I guess.
Name drop.
That's not a name drop.
Meg's just telling you everyone that she spoke to after the game, yeah.
Sam Tompkins isn't a name drop.
Well, I'll just clip that and put it on socials. And
No, but Sam's just Sam.
Backtracking.
Sam's just Sam. Work colleague Sam. So yeah. I think
best fullback in Super League history.
Yeah, according to lots of people. I think it was.
Agree, Meg?
I think it was a. I said they were going to lose. I think I can't remember what I said. I said 20-something 14, I think. So I was closer than you. I thought England would score more.
Always has to feel a need to just point out that she was more correct than me.
Well, I didn't understand why everyone was so convinced England could win. But yeah. Power of hindsight. And I guess that moves us on to our next segment. So Matt, you're going to have 2 minutes. I will time you. It is Captain's Challenge. So Matt, this week, what is your Captain's Challenge? Have you actually thought of one?
Well, I had, but you called it boring, and then I didn't think of another one.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, you're going to just have to go with it.
Right, I'm just going with it. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's time to leave Wembley.
What, in general, existentially, or you mean the Ashes?
Everything. Time to
Everything?
Time to.
Okay, explain.
it is soulless. It is not exciting. I don't think the fans care for it whatsoever. Saturday was horrendous. We were 2 minutes into the game and it was just silent. It was silent. We talk about the players being nervous. I'm not surprised. 60,000 people there and there was no sound. You could literally hear players clapping. You could hear shouts between players on the pitch with 60,000 people in the stadium. There are stadiums that are just better suited to rugby league and the atmosphere that it creates, most notably Tottenham, which is a far better stadium, better suited to rugby league in terms of capacity, and just a better stadium, in my opinion. I love the Challenge Cup weekend. I didn't like the idea of it going away, but Tottenham completely changed my perspective. It was probably the most enjoyable cup final I've done. And I'm just not enjoying Wembley. I just did not enjoy that atmosphere at all. It's not for me, and I would move.
Okay, my first rebuttal to that would be, I think as a sport we should be wary of going smaller and doing the whole contracting to contract rather than sticking and trying to expand. I think we as a sport should be trying to fill Wembley, not saying we can't fill Wembley. I think we should be pushing to fill Wembley. That's the point for me. It's that it's the home of, like, it's the iconic venue. It's the home of sport. And the thing on the atmosphere thing, there wasn't any atmosphere, but also there was atmosphere from one section of thousands of Australians. We were in London. Anyone who's lived in London, like me, if you've been anywhere near Clapham, all it is Australians. So actually, I think it was a more split crowd than people were expecting. There was a lot more Aussie fans in than people thought there would be. I haven't attended many England internationals. I attended quite a few in the World Cup. The atmosphere is never that good in internationals in rugby league because we've not figured it out yet, because we don't do it often enough. So we don't have a core fan base who are making chants or going to games. We don't have a swing low, sweet chariot like England Rugby Union do. We don't have any of those things yet because we don't do it often enough to build them. So, yeah, that would be what I'd say back to that.
I take that point, and it's a fair point. We don't have any chance, but I can guarantee you right now the atmosphere will be far better at Everton and far better at Leeds. Far better. And that says, while I take your point on, you are right, the atmosphere will be better at Everton and Leeds.
The only thing I'd say back on Leeds is, I understand it at the thing of if it's 2-0, you've sold it outright. But what's Leeds' capacity?
Get it, but that's probably where I get your point on you shouldn't contract, but it'll feel.
Well, you could have.
It's like it's the argument with the John Smith. Oh, sorry, the ACU now. Huddersfield say their best atmosphere of the season when they played at Dewsbury.
Yeah, but I'm saying with the Leeds one, I think you could have gone bigger and still sold it out.
Well, they could because so that minutes they could have gone to Ellen Road and that's 35,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Wembley, I also think time of day plays into it a little bit. Like a night match is very different to 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. is quite like you sat having a chat, having drinks, watching a match. I know a lot of people from work who went, and lots are rugby league fans, but lots aren't like avid rugby league fans. They went for just the day out that there's rugby league in London, right? So I think the idea of atmosphere, yeah, it'll probably be louder at Everton. It's because you're near the better area of the Northwest. So, you get the better people. You're down the road from, our parts. So obviously we bring the atmosphere.
Why are you actively antagonising probably half of our audience here?
I'm joking because we live in Merseyside.
What are you achieving?
It's the same way you always talk about Yorkshire.
You always bring this up. But you're obsessed with Yorkshire. I
just think there is better. Also, you could play music. I just think there's way more you could do with it than just go soulless bowl. We'll leave him.
Just not a fan of it.
Okay, so what's Tottenham 60,000?
Yeah, which would have been a sellout.
Yeah, but my point is, so you've sold out Tottenham. So there was 60,812 people who went. So 812 of them don't get tickets. And then we're saying, so next year there might be another 5,000 who try to get a ticket, but we're at a stadium where there's no more room for anyone.
There to be sold out and have no atmosphere.
And then that's why the sport doesn't make any money.
But it'd be cheaper to go to Tottenham than Wembley.
But I'm saying each year, if you're adding more people and you're selling the place out, you're making more money.
If you could get Wembley to 90,000 and guarantee me a wonderful atmosphere, absolutely happy days. I've no.
Okay, I'm not guaranteeing a wonderful atmosphere, but I'm guaranteeing 90,000.
Right. Well, it probably would have a better atmosphere if there were 90,000. To be fair, by just design, but I didn't enjoy the atmosphere at Wembley at all. The week.
I do think there's something to say in, where do you expect to be sung? Who do you expect to be leading them? Like, any of that.
I take it, but I don't know.
Like, I've attended Six Nations games at Twickenham. I've attended sold out ones. I've attended women's ones that are not sold out, but there's a set thing of what people sing and chant and do, and so the atmosphere is always better, whereas we've probably just not quite figured that out yet.
Yeah, I've got you. Fair enough. Well, we'll let the people decide, as we always do.
We will. So let us know in the comments. Would you keep Wembley for the Challenge Cup? Would you keep Wembley for internationals? Would you move elsewhere? If you would move elsewhere, where would you move to? Let us know in the comments, and also make sure to like and subscribe. And that moves us on to our final section of Offload and Unload. So Matt,
we need to stop telling people to like and subscribe after 3 segments. Sorry, just
well,
an editorial notes meeting here. But,
anyway,
like and subscribe.
So, yes, but on to our final segment, Offload and Unload, where we asked you. Now, obviously, we usually do stories, but with it being such a big week internationally, I asked. Obviously, Matt would change the stadium, but a lot of you would change the team. And as Sean Wayne has said, that we're probably seeing 2 to 4 changes coming in. We asked you what changes you would make for the second test for England. So I'm going to read through a few of those and see what Matt thinks. So, first up, I would switch out Wellesby and Bateman, bring in Brinson at centre and put Farnworth at fullback.
No. How many times do we do this with England and play players out of position? Herbie Farnworth is the best centre in the world. You play him at centre. Have we not learned from Wayne Bennett playing Blake Austin on the wing? No.
Legendary.
I'd take from whoever said that.
Well, there we go.
Was that you?
No, it wasn't me. That was my burner account. Next up, we've just had someone who said they would bring in both Smithies and Oledsky, which is kind of what you said you think might happen.
I would do that. I would if I was picking the team, and this is me now talking about what I would do, not what I think Sean Wayne will do. I would take McMeekan and Havard out, and I would bring Oledsky and Smithies in.
Okay. Next up, bring in Oledsky, powerful and more athletic than Walmsley. I would say Connor in December, but I can't see him in the squad list. Oh.
Someone's had a dig. Yeah, Oledsky for Walmsley, not massively against. I think Big Al did okay at times, but he tired quick. Won't be pleased with his effort for the second try. See it. Mikolaj Oledsky, the point of difference to what we've got, which is why I'd put him in. There has to be an acceptance, and I know people don't watch this as much and get it. Defensively, he's not as good as the other guys. But he brings something different in attack. I completely agree.
The one thing I'd say as well is about all the Leeds players, when asked about their inclusion in his squad, Sean Wayne said, I know all of them will give me 80 minutes and they'll bleed for 80 minutes. And maybe we were missing a bit of 80-minute players.
Which is what? Well, Matty Lees, Morgan, no, well, yeah, might be making a big minute players. Play big minutes, more than Naletsky does.
And then they probably need to get more mobility in the forwards with the likelihood of a quicker ruck. Smithies, Watkins, and Oledzki probably need to be in the 17. Brimson definitely needs to come in. So again, they want more attack.
I don't hate it. I'd just be interested on the Watkins one. Do you bring him in for Bateman or Carpius Paul?
Oh.
I mean, if I'm honest, listen, I get the Bateman talk and I understand it, hear it, see it. I think Bateman were better than Carpius Paul on the weekend.
But if you're saying who's going to win you in Ashes, would you say Kai Pearce-Paul or John Bateman?
Defence is equally as important as attack, Meg.
Okay. Obviously, I asked for some people's jokey answers as well to this. So someone said they bring in.
I hope someone's put you at 13.
No, I'd put me at 13. Someone said they'd have Sam Allardyce as head coach. So that was one. Yes, Sam Allardyce. Do you know who that is?
Bolton manager. Who? Wow. Right. Okay.
Is that because he's from Bolton? You don't like it, or?
Nothing against Bolton. They're just weird, but okay.
And then someone said, again, wasn't really jokey, but they said what I'd do to have Jammer and top of his game Liam Farrell in the pack. Which I think everyone would.
I knew it said Sam Allardyce. I've just figured out. Was it Ben?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, I was convinced it'd be Ben from Rugby League. Big Bolton fan.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, we'd all like those in the pack, anonymous person. But
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'll finish off with you is then, I guess, what football head coach would you have as head coach, and what player from back in the day would you bring in if we're going down the route of if you could bring two players in, one forward, one back, which one would you bring in?
Right, I'll try and be practical because of what they need. I'll bring Sam Burgess in at forward, prime Sam Burgess. Back. Oh. Sam Tompkins.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, and who would your football head coach be?
I have literally no idea.
Go with Pep. Change the game.
Absolutely not.
Make it unplayable for everyone else.
Boring. Oh my god, this is hard. Just because I'm going just purely because he'd be fantastic media. Jose Mourinho. He's tremendous.
Well, purely for the match that's just gone, I'd have had Neil Warnock, because we'd have got, we're in London. That's the difference.
So you right for Muscat that.
Yeah. So that
would be the Reece Walsh that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the bloody difference. We're in London. And I think ones I'd bring in. I'd probably go James Graham and James Graham and Sean Long. There you go. That's my two.
Who and Sean Long?
James Graham.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm going because they need mobility. I've gone with Sam Burgess.
The reason I've gone with Sean Long is I was literally thinking off the top of my head, who have I got a memory of someone like breaking through Australia, and it's Sean Long.
Fair enough. Can't disagree.
Yeah, and he did it when they won against them.
People
So-
forget that he had an absolute shocker the week after, and then got
Swings
booted,
around
then got booted off camp. Go on, Russell, what a man.
Well, there we go. So I guess that brings us to the end of this low budget internet simming session. We hope you enjoyed. As ever, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, let us know. Let us know anything you want in next week's. This week we will be filming a Simbin short from Everton, so keep a lookout for that. Because we'll find.
We don't get kicked out.
No, but there's enough places like around Everton to film. This girl knows Liverpool. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed. Let us know your thoughts on everything in the comments as well, and we will see you next time. Bye.